your new Toyota Starlet Cross. Own it.
iDiskiTV powered by World Sports Betting. iDiskiTimes.co.za. Qela le Marumo Gallants manqaku amabini eqandeni kwiqela le Orlando Pirates. Kwathiwa ke kudla ngotshiwo kuthiwa umpokotho unexhala amasi yabekwa langeni kodwa ke hayi kudla ngotshiwo futhi ba mawachithwe lo manzi inkukhu ibalekile. In other words, we no longer have what we thought was a title race. However, as a content creator, I'm grateful to Pirates and Marumo Sundowns for giving us something that we haven't had in the last 2, 3 years or 4 years in the Betway Premiership, where at least 2 teams were in the running until the month of March. It is the 1st of March, and I do suppose even the most hopeful Orlando Pirates fan will feel like this is the end of it. Orlando Pirates, Marumo Sundowns lead by 18 points now. Orlando Pirates legend icon, top goal scorer in the history of Orlando Pirates in the PSL era, Tso Vilakazi. Just your reflections on the title race and whether or not you agree. We were praying for Pirates and our video went viral. A couple of hundred people, hundreds of thousands of people were watching our video. We were praying for Pirates on social media. What's your feeling now as it relates to that title race?
Mr. K, unjani mfethu?
Mr. So-and-so?
Yeah, ngithinte wena ngithinte Stizi.
Yes, sir.
Ngidile ntomkwena, chairman my chairman. Ngibuyisa nana emakhaya. Ngicela support njalo iDiskiTV. Ngizobe nje njalo ngichike futhi. Yeah, it's sad. It's sad, Mr. K, with that team.
Excuse me. First of all, do you believe it's over?
Yeah, no, it's done. It's done, Mr. K. There's no way we will recover in 18 points. We're still gonna, yes, I know that we still have to play against them again at Orlando, but still, it's not gonna be enough. You know, if we drop points against our team, Abu Marumo Gallants, with all the due respect I've got for the
and they
team
deserve the
itself,
Gallants to win.
Definitely they do, Mr. K. With them, they've shown good. They need 3 points more than we need 3 points, and if we can't beat teams like Marumo Gallants and we want to go and challenge Marumo Sundowns, we have to we have to sit down really and think that do we have a proper plan in terms of really going for the league, because this is not a tournament, it's or a 100-meter race. It's a marathon. A marathon, you need to prepare yourself for that marathon, because along the way sometimes you need to change ama running shoes lana or afagile, because of now it seems like what is continue so kitchima go so that is to go soft nyana. Now you have to change. Now you have to go to Google gravel, million tawla go gravel, because how long is strat lapa. Now you have to change utole manje those shoes uzorana. So a marathon, it's something that you need to plan, and I think Pirates, they did very well, Mr. Gill. No doubt with that.
Yeah, in the context, in the broader context of the title race,
yes,
they pushed.
Yeah,
with the maybe what would have what hit them was the lack of planning.
Yeah,
the thinking that a 20-year-old on the left-hand side and a 20-year-old on the right-hand side will last the whole race, and then getting to January and not getting reinforcement for Nkota in Apolis, and not fighting enough for Jaden Adams Central, only reinforcing what Dino van Rooyen, thinking that's enough. Dino van Rooyen is a good addition, but you needed midfielders that could pass as well. I think that's not a bad thing, actually. It's a reflection on the management that they did something wrong, but they did give us a title race. They tried. With those kids, with Utito Maswanganyi, it was a breakout season for him. We've known him, obviously. We already knew him, but it was a breakout season for him. We got to know him better. He told us that he is a national team player, and we saw and we believed, and we said, oh, thank you, well done. And he becomes one of the most important players in this country for this era. So we got positives from Pirates. And of course, not to even mention Inkosema 2000. He is Inkosema 2000. There's no fake there. Unfortunately, with kids, it can only last for 6 months or for 4 months. If something happens in his personal life, it kind of affects him as well on the field, if that's happening, and so on and so forth. And then, of course, there was a Saleng issue, which is if you have someone who gives you 20 goals per season, not 20, but 15 goals per season, when he's not there, no matter how he plays, he's not good, whatever, but it means you will not have 15 goals this season. Goals that he could have scored here and in other matches that you drew, you could have won you those games. So it's been a decent season for Orlando Pirates. Lessons could be taken from this. I don't think that it was a bad thing altogether, and they're still in the Champions League.
Yeah, Mr. Nkeo, you know, but no, we should do cool because you learn every time. You learn every time. Doesn't matter what you've been in the game for 20 years, but there's certain things that you learn along the way. And I think the Pirates have learned a lesson, Mr. Nkeo, to say, look, as much as we've got, let's say, 14 players that we're 100% sure that they can carry us, why can't you get another 6? That will add in that 14 and make it 20, so that you know that we've got 20 that we are 100% sure that we will carry. Because that's why I even said the other time that I'm worried if Tito will get injured.
Yeah.
I said it because this is football. Such things that do happen. That's why I always say when you plan as a coach, you plan for based on things like that. There's a yellow card, there's a red card, there's an injury that will just gonna happen. It came in 5 minutes. How do you change all the approach? And now I think Paris, I hope they've learned now to say, yes, we've got Mfukeng, we've got Nkota, we've got Maswanganyi. This is football. This is football. Things they turn around each and every week when these games have been played. So they were supposed to reinforce the team. Not that we're saying be like Mamelodi Sundowns where you can buy everyone. No. But you need to identify those players. I mean, the policy is
They
there.
also have enough money to do that.
Maybe
Both Pirates and Chiefs have hundreds of millions in sponsorships per year.
But
they have the money to do it.
They can do
it. You could entice Jaden Adams to come to you. Of course, when the bid gets higher and higher and higher, there's a point where you can't go beyond, but you can fight hard.
Yeah, Mr. Gil, you know, that's why it's so important. And that is one thing that I learned from overseas, to say, have a good eye of identifying a player and react on that
immediately.
And I always advise and say this, Oguti, here's a boy, go now. Don't wait for the season to finish, because the value will go high, and once the value goes higher, you know where it's gonna go. We all know. So now I hope everyone they will listen to me to say, when I say Orlando Pirates, go for a police. Orlando Pirates, go for Unduli for that midfielder. Orlando Pirates, go for Umaloisana in that centre back, you know, Bano Traore at the centre back. You know, not that I don't like Usbisi or I don't like Ukogi, but when I look at Oguti team Igupi and what is that they want to achieve, you need to have stronger players that when you take out this one, you put this one, then you know that you are still solid. And
could the club have handled Saleng better, that situation? Do you believe, you know all the facts, we don't have to talk about them.
Yeah.
Do you believe if you were in the position of the management, could they have, to help them in the league, now as in isolation, in relation to the title, could Orlando Pirates have dealt better with the Saleng situation, or you would have handled it the same way now?
No, Mr. K, we know we need to sit down and look at the future and look at where we're coming from. And one is, where we're coming from, we need him. Where we're going, we need him. Whatever happens, we need to sit down, let's find a solution to say, look, we can discuss whatever that you're looking for, but in the meantime, remember that this is a journey that we all started between you and us. And so now, while we're still talking, can you go on with your journey? And then we'll see. Because definitely, Saleng, the Pirates, they need to Saleng.
Needed him on the pitch.
Mr. Nkeu, Saleng, out of the blue, he can create. Out of the blue, he can come in and score. I mean, if you can score 15 goals, it means that Umabasa now has scored a couple of goals now. So add
you
Saleng
share the
on
load.
that.
It's load shedding.
Know, it's going to be
The
balanced.
load is equalized on different players.
It's going to be balanced. And I think it's something that I know the team, they're finding a way. And the boy will come back and play and hope.
Well, in the context of the title, it's all over. But of course, going forward, it will help them. One more on Marumo Gallants, so before we let you go. Is there a possibility of a brighter future, given what you saw today? New coach as well. Dent is no longer there. They beat a big team. Do you foresee? Of course, they're not going to get relegated. There's teams that are weaker than them. There's also Royal AM as well. But do you foresee them doing well in future?
You know, for Marumo Gallants, we always hope for the best. And we know what's going to happen after a month, you know. And it's something that we get used to it, to say they did well tonight. Well done to them. Look, Marumo Gallants did very well. The boys fought them. Zindonga, Msendami, and Kabatino Mango. They did very well. And they've shown how they need to do the job, and they did it very well. But now the thing is that can you see that next week? Can you see that the other week, the third week? Can you see it in your match? Can you see this kind of performance? Because for me, if they can do like this, I think there's something that people from Bloemfontein, they can breathe about.
All right, there you go. Thank you very much to Mr. Tso and so. What do you guys think, actually? Because I suppose you will have your say as well about whether or not there's any jumping off the gun with regards to the title. Do you genuinely believe it's over? I think symbolically it was over on the game that Pirates lost to Sundowns, because they had to directly take those points against the guys that they were fighting against, and they were defeated there thoroughly. You could mention the stadium and the pitch and all of that, but that was a thorough defeat. Symbolically, I've kind of felt that this is the end then, because if they had won Pirates, I think they would have been 6 points closer to Sundowns, something like that. And then now, the weeks have passed since that moment. The gap has just opened up. It's now 18 points as we go to bed tonight. iDiskiTV, iDiski Times was sports betting. For breaking news, go to iDiskiTimes.co.za.
Shapunjan bafowethu igama lami uLindo Pep, the best analyst in the country. Please don't forget to subscribe to iDiskiTV. Tanko.
This is Bongane Benedict Vilakazi. They call me Tso. Niyazi bafowethu, ama coach for life. They are back in winning ways. Please, subscribe iDiskiTV.